8 men rode into canyons. I dug 7 graves. The men you seek think you are dead. Better to stay that way.
You want me to wear a mask?
Justice is what a man must take for himself.
When you take on a character with as much sort of eccentricity and wackiness as Tonto, how much are you sitting down somewhere and mapping out mannerisms or things like that? Or how much of it is just in the script and it's what you respond to?
It depends, you know. I mean, basically, Tonto, because there was no, I didn't want there to already be a mold for Tonto, so I didn't, I wasn't going to go in the traditional sense of Tonto. So a lot of things would just, come to me and just have these ideas.
The director, Gore Verbinski, just told me that there are times where the two of you will sit around picking the guitar, you play a lot together, and that sometimes you'll even sort of set the cadence and work through the way a scene should kind of play out, using music to communicate with each other.
Well, I mean, Gore's a great guitar player,
Sure.
and he's definitely been around. He knows what he's talking about when he plays. There are certain references, he may say, put a little more twang on it. He might even use that as a piece of direction. Put a little more twang on it, or you broke a B string. The B string's just snapped.
I heard Silver, huge diva.
Oh,
Heart,
total.
demanding.
Wouldn't even talk to the other actors. Wouldn't make eye contact. Diva.
Day one, that sets a bad tone, really, on set, I would imagine.
Yes. The horse refused to do off-camera lines,
Okay.
stuff like that. But you make it work.
All right. You have a track record that's incredible. Leo DiCaprio and J. Edgar, Johnny Depp here in this movie, and others. I would imagine there might be little nuggets that you take away from every encounter with these huge stars. What's the takeaway from Johnny Depp?
Pay attention to everything.
Really?
Yeah, he's incredibly observant. He knows everything about making a movie. Just, little bits of knowledge he's gained over the 20 whatever years he's been doing this.
All I know is that a man killed my brother. If we ride together, we ride for justice.
Justice is what I seek.
You tell me, you've done so many great characters. When you're able to walk up and sort of completely disappear in the cosmetics, in the costuming, and all this great look, is that a luxury as an actor?
Yeah, it's truly, it's a gift. At the end of that first day that I was in Albuquerque, and we did all the hair and makeup tests and the costume fitting, I was like, wow, they're giving me that?
Big characters like Tonto, like the Lone Ranger, they have to have equally big, larger-than-life adversaries. How is Cavendish that big? What is it about him that makes him that bad?
What makes him bad? I don't know. I think it's figuring out what makes a guy like that tick.
Sure.
You really want to figure out why does he do the things that he does, and that was fun, and that's a lot of my job as an actor to try to fill that in.
These two have a hard time staying dead.
The great part about, I think, any movie like this epic scale, really the landscape becomes almost a character of its own, especially in a Western. Can you talk about that? Here we are in Santa Fe, it's beautiful here. How did that kind of set the stage and maybe make you even feel like you're in the zone and you're in that sort of era for the movie?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's the landscape is so fundamental to a Western. I mean, every Western we've watched, it's about those big vistas and a man alone in those big vistas. And so filming, I've never been to these areas of America before, and they're absolutely stunning.
Yeah, and this idea of the Wild West is generally something where you got the man alone, or you got the men fighting. This is a woman who is not a damsel in distress. In some ways she needs rescuing, but she really has a way of being strong and standing on her own. How does she do that, and maybe was that an appeal to you for the character?
Yeah, it was an appeal for me. I mean, there's so many of those stock characters in Westerns. The women are strapped to the train lines and, they're damsels. I wanted her to be have a bit more grit, steel, to stand up to these men, be someone that survived in a very male world, and it was quite important for me to get that across.